Fellow dreamers of planet Earth and beyond, active axis of dreamers, apprentices, and dreamers of emeriti. As this annual cycle's appointed Supreme Priestess of this most noble cabal of dreamers, it is with immense hope and fervent optimism that I welcome you all here to the boudoir of dreams, the dream tray, for yet another night and 3 REM cycles of fruitful, fecund, powerful, and productive dreams. I would like to begin by reviewing our last collective dreaming, lucid dreaming session, and offering an update on the progress of the keynote revelations received from those dreams. But before I do, I must commend each and every one of you for your courageous contributions to the Axis of Dreamers' efforts to usher in a fresh consciousness for the new celestial century. Your efforts in promoting peace and pleasure, to eradicate suffering and raise up a viable utopian future, a vision for the future, for this planet and beyond. Despite the obstacles and retrograde-like regressions among our co-humans who have yet to find their bliss within the dream dimensions, your dedication and commitment and cooperation has been unwavering. To use a poignant historical phrase, in the midst of unprecedented troubles, the work of the Axis of Dreamers is needed now more direly than ever. A breakthrough, a sea change, a shift in the force is coming. Be confident. Although it is our human propensity to lament the tragedies not averted, the threats that could not be thwarted, let us remember that it is impossible to measure how much sorrow, pain, and suffering has actually not been permitted to manifest due to the Axis of Dreamers' tireless, relentless efforts. May your spirits be lifted and your zeal reinvigorated, knowing that many are thriving today because of dreamers like you. Our weekly collective lucid dreaming sessions and the portals of power that they open have provided pain relief, catastrophe prevention, and hope for incalculable numbers of our co-humans of all shades, shapes, and varieties. Do not forget that the worlds and visions that you build in the dream dimensions have had and will have immeasurable impacts and effects not yet seen. Even this moment, as we are gathered here, I can feel the electric, kinetic energies of change gathering and rallying around us. Ooh. Can you feel the forces of the dream docents with us now? Do you hear the gentle whisperings of the docents, dream docents, tinkling in your ears? Good, good. Let that be affirmation that the infinite intelligence, the Supreme Spirits, delight in and approve of our work. Last week we were guided by the energies to the pains caused by social isolation and loneliness. We were inspired to go in search of an elixir for isolation and loneliness that manifest in a host of different malfunctions and maladies. I know some of you, maybe many of you, left the dream tray feeling despondent and a touch depressed about the revelations of those 3 dream cycles. As you'll recall, Dream Cycle 1 took us back to the Paleolithic days of human experience in our search for an evolutionary function of social isolation and loneliness. I'm sure none of us will forget the disturbing discoveries that we made there. That humans have long been keen to cast out members of the clan who were not pulling their own weight, who were perceived as endangering the clan by expressing themselves in divergent ways. Tragically, fear of difference and eccentricity were revealed to be from the primordial goo, human attribute. We will not revisit it this time, what atrocities we beheld there, and that we unsuccessfully tried to circumvent with our fused dreaming energies. Some of you began to question your powers of lucid dreaming, as Cycle 1 spun entirely out of our control. As I stated at the close of our last session, it's important to consider that we were so forcefully shown those things during that dream cycle so that we may unlock the elixir for loneliness and social isolation when those revelations are used in concert with other codes and keys yet to be presented to us. Ruefully, Cycle 2 was not much more encouraging. Again, we were unable to direct our concerted will towards shaping the events of that dream cycle. But let us choose to believe that something useful was deliberately revealed to us, though we may not yet understand how to apply that new knowledge. Many of you had old wounds reopened by tragic tales told by the woman who had been reincarnated 7 times, each time in the role of a lonely, lowly, mistreated servant. Many of you interpreted that dream cycle as a commentary on the timelessness of caste systems, social hierarchies that sift and sort humans by superficial qualities, immutable biologically determined traits, and social rank at birth. So let us assume that she was attempting to lead us to an elixir for that social isolation and loneliness and all of its discontents that she seems so familiar with. Let's focus on that rather than get stuck in our grief for the potential that was lost of those talented, gifted individuals who succumbed to others' will to power. After Dream Cycle 3 also went rogue and took us on a tour of the evolution of communication technologies, eventually landing us in the future where mental telepathy had replicated smart technologies. I know many of us realize that technology is not the elixir for social isolation and loneliness during that dream cycle. Yes, we lost heart as we beheld the same problems, only different devices that played out before our eyes. Though the voices urging us to make sure no soul is left alone, and who pleaded with us to ensure that every soul has at least another soul to talk to, though those voices were haunting, let us rise to this challenge rather than abandon our mission. I understand that after those images and what they revealed themselves to us to be, it's been particularly discouraging to witness yet another week of lonely outcasts acting out their pain under the spell of Thanatos. No, the recent events of the waking world did not offer much encouragement for a better tomorrow. But our concern is long-term climate, not short-term vacillations in weather patterns. Besides, it's always grimmest before the breakthrough. Okay, now let us put our heads down and speak aloud our gravest fears and brightest hopes and wishes. In the spirit of kindred dreamers and visionaries who have come before us, Edgar the Sleeping Prophet, Edgar Allan Poe, Robert Louis Stevenson, Mary Shelley, Jung, Marie Sendak, William Blake, Hieronymus Bosch, Aldous Huxley, Bruce Sterling, PKD, Dr. Seuss, and so many others, as well as the spirits of the many, many women whose dreams and names we do not even know, due to the ruthless will to power. In those names, in those spirits, we affirm the power and the value of dreams. We express our gratitude for alternative perspectives offered by dreams, the opportunities they offer for releasing the imagination from its prison cells of daily waking life concerns onto a playground for pleasure and problem solving. Once again, as so many times before, we lament those wayward and wanton nights past when our dream energies were dissipated, wasted, lost, and squandered. We grieve those lost dreams that can never be recalled, that can never be recorded in a dream journal, let alone nurtured and brought to life in the waking world. And we grieve for the lazy, haphazard, unlucid dreams that were under some other force's control, not our own. We repledge our commitments to lucid dreaming, to steering, commandeering, and driving our own dreams into dreamscapes and dream scenarios that have a revolutionary, mind-expanding power. Never again will we squander our lucid dreaming powers and energies. As our faith in the forces of lucid dreams has been challenged by recent events, we take this moment to recall all the times when lucid dreams have had positive effects on our lives and the state of the world by shaking out of us our complacency, bolstering our spirits, and elevating us to new levels of awareness. All those times we were able in our collective lucid dreams to push open doors to alternative realities, treasure troves of the solutions to the pains and plights of humanity. All the motivation and inspiration that has helped us move mountains, to part rivers, to slay dragons and fly over volcanoes, and dreams that we could then bring that power into our waking lives. We recall with relish those feelings and bask in them. We review every instance when our lucid dreaming experiments were a breakthrough, a game changer, a force for change and positive evolution. We rehearse those memories now so that we can overwrite and crowd out the pessimism that is stalking us. Now you may raise your hands and open your eyes. Tonight, this cycle of dreams, as challenging as it may be, must also be dedicated to our search for an elixir for loneliness. Before we ascend into the Theta clouds, a brief reading on loneliness to guide our dreams towards an elixir, not an explanation or a rationalization for loneliness, from the book of the Secrets of Dreamers. Dream in a pragmatic way. Aldous Huxley. A dream you dream alone is only a dream. John Lennon. So now let us come together to dream together, united in the same spirit, so that our dreams may become dream worlds for all to share, so that they may become reality. Before we surrender to the theta waves, we must declare our dream intentions. Focus on them to the exclusion of all else. Thus, I ask you to fix this question inside your mind, inside your soul. What is the elixir for loneliness? Why are so many people uncomfortable inside their own minds? Why do people have so much trouble deeply, intimately connecting with one another? Now, so that question seeps deeply into your limbic system, you must attach an emotion to those questions. Cue up and replay the most intense loneliness you have ever felt. Revisit and relive how awful those feelings of emptiness, loneliness, anxiety were. Do not worry, they'll be assuaged by the presence of so many other dreamers here with you tonight who have felt just as deeply and just as many times that aching feeling and lived to dream again and again. Now take heart. You are never really alone in your loneliness, for this is the one thing that you share completely, consummately with every other member of your species. Can you feel those feelings? The aching, the longing, the fear that it would never be quenched or satisfied. Good, good, good. Tolerate that darkness, knowing that it's temporary and it doesn't stand a chance against the light. Stay with those feelings. Stay with those feelings. 1, 2, 3, just a little longer. 6, 7, 8. All right, release those feelings now and come on over to the light side. With alacrity, with cheerful promptness, visualize and inhabit, immerse yourself in the most connected moment you have ever experienced, even if it was only within the dream dimensions. Good. Good. Okay, let the frequencies of that state reverberate through every cell in your body. That moment when you were surrounded by people who really knew you, people who genuinely loved you, people who want nothing but abundance and joy and bliss for you. Be those feelings of connection. Now soar overhead and look down on that experience. Trace your steps. How did you get there to that feeling of complete connectedness? What raised your frequency to that level? Perfect, perfect. Draw that map with your soul. Memorize every turn. Excellent, excellent. Now we are ready to connect to each other and fuse our dreaming energy. reach out and take the hands of those who have committed to dreaming beside you. Perfect. Perfect. Now surrender yourself to the Theta waves. Tune into that frequency and resonate with it. Put yourself in perfect harmony with it. Okay, you dreamer, slow your soul down a little bit. That's good. Good. Okay. All right, speed yours up a little bit, dreamer. Just a smidge. Another hertz. Okay. Another half hertz. There. Perfect. Can you hear that? Can you feel that? That is the sound of being perfectly in tune with the spirit